Okay, so for the base for my layout, I started with 2 sheets of the Simple Stories Simple Vintage Winter Woods Winter Blues paper. That's the one that has the brown with the white polka dots, and on the other side there's like kind of a teal stripe. I went ahead and cut off the branding strips from the top. And apparently the cat wants to help us like make a layout. I don't think he's realized he can go upstairs and somebody will feed him. All right, the next thing I did is I took 1 sheet of All That Glistens, and this has green background with white snowflakes on one side. On the other, it's got kind of a distressed winter scene, and I cut that into 3 4-inch strips. Okay. 1 strip we are going to leave face up. The other strip we are going to turn over so that the snowflake side is up. I took the remaining 4-inch strip, cut it to 2 inches wide, and then cut one of those into 6 inches, and we'll use those 2 little 6-inch pieces. And you can save your 1-inch strip, or your other 2-inch strip, for something else. Okay, I swear he just got fed. I just don't think he's gone upstairs to look to see that he's actually gotten fed. So as you know, I don't typically do layouts, so you're going to see me kind of fussing around with things a bit, and that is why. So the next page that I used was the Snow Day paper, and that one has that cute like collage thing on the one side. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut the branding strip off of this one as well. And then I'm going to turn and cut close to the edge of that collage that's there on the left-hand side so that I can use the other half of this paper on another project and not have it like all, you know, weird because I fussy cut. And then I am going to go ahead and fussy cut out that little collage all the way from the bottom edge where the little gingham ribbon is to the top edge. So, you know, thanks to the magic of video editing, I can fussy cut this in about 30 seconds as opposed to like the 3.5 minutes it probably took me to actually do. Actually, no, I don't think it was that long. This one was super easy to cut out, so not a big deal. Okay, so we fussy cut that, and that is just going to run down the left-hand side on the left page of the layout. And this is where I was, again, because I'm not typically a layout person, I'm just kind of messing around with this, trying to figure out what it is exactly I'm going to do. Okay, so one of your 4-inch strips, I put snowflake side up, the other side I put winter woods side up, or well, the little woods side up. And then I've taken one of those 2-inch strips, cut it down to 6 inches, so I have 2 pieces, and I'm going to just make these into like little flags, essentially. And initially I'd only intended on putting one of them on here, and then I realized that there's like a music note in the background on that green paper that, no, not right now, that actually is directional, and I had it upside down. So I was like, okay, well, we're just going to use both pieces then. So I went ahead and did the same thing with the other piece so that, again, they mirror each other, just like the base paper underneath them does. So I'm going to go ahead and put those down. Okay, so next up I'm going to cut some photo mats, and the photo mats are cut out of the Snuggle Up paper. And this one has like some little birds on one side and has a really nice plaid on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and cut some photo mats. So I'm going to start by cutting a 3-inch strip off the bottom of that paper. And I'm then going to cut that into 4 3-inch mats. So you're going to have 4 3x3 mats. paper and kill yourself. Oh my lord. Okay, sorry. The cat keeps finding like strips of things and trying to eat them. I don't know what his problem is today. Okay, so we've got 4 pieces that are 3 by 3, and I'm kind of messing with placement here, and we don't need to see that. So let's move on to the next 2 mats that we're going to cut. First off, I'm going to cut a piece 5 inches wide, and then I'm going to cut that down to 7 so that we have a 5 by 7 mat. I debated about leaving that little piece of the branding strip at the top because it's pretty, and decided not to do that. And then I'm going to take the remaining piece and I'm going to cut a 4 by 6 photo mat with the remaining piece. So I'm cutting that one to 4 inches high and then cutting it down to 6 inches wide. And that's going to be our last of the photo mats. Okay, so next up, I am going to ink the edges of all of my papers with the Vintage Photo, just regular distress ink. Honestly, I've had that ink pad for I don't even know how many years, and I'm really surprised it's still juicy. Because I don't think, maybe I did re-ink that a couple of months ago. I take it back. I might have actually re-inked that not too long ago. But I'm going to come in here, I'm going to ink up all of my pieces. And I'm going to just start with my left-hand side first. I'll do the other pieces, or the other side here in just a minute. And we're going to go ahead and glue these down. Well, not glue these down. I'm actually going to get out and use my tape runner. Okay, so when I do layouts, and a lot of times when I do cards, that is about the only time I actually use my tape runner. So for the left side, I'm going to put that page snowflake side up, about 1.5 inches up from the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and adhere down my little fussy cut piece on the left-hand side there, and then really after the fact, I was like, oh, I probably could have popped that up, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down, and then I'm going to adhere down my little flag. But for that, I am going to use some foam tape. And what I'm using is not the normal thickness. This is that thinner foam tape that comes on the really big roll. Because part of the reason I started doing mini albums in the first place is I don't like pocket pages. And it drives me insane when you have a layout that's got like a lot of dimension, which they're super cute when you do a lot of dimension. But then it's like it doesn't quite sit right in the pocket page, and that just makes me crazy. I don't know why. So I did pop that one up. So I'm going to come in on this other side and I'm going to ink up my other pieces. And we're going to go ahead and adhere those down as well. Just going to move that out of the way. And so what I wanted was for that paper to line up on the right page exactly where it is on the left page. So I'm lining my layout up and lining that up so that it's going to come across, straight across where the other one is. And then I'm going to mirror that with the tape flag on the other side with the snowflakes up this time instead of the woods. And again, I'm just using that thin foam tape for both of those. Okay. So then I'm going to kind of lay out where I want my photo mats. And I realized I didn't ink my other mats. And this is, again, why I don't ink things, because I forget halfway through. Oh, I didn't ink that. Oh, well. Anyway, so these are getting inked for a change. So I'm going to do my 5 by 7 there. And initially I was thinking my 4 by 6 was going to go on that left side. And I decided to turn it the other direction and put it on the other page. So we're going to be able to get 6 pictures on here. You, of course, can change your photo mats up and, do this however you would like to do this. And I decided it needed a little bit more color, but the kind of light teal that's on the back side of that one solid is too much. So I ended up using the rosy and cool gray solid, and using the rose, the pink side that's really like kind of pale, like vintage pink. And I ended up matting the photo mats on that. So the photo mats were 3x3, 4x6, and 5x7. So I cut this rose paper to 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. So that it sticks out around that without it being too like in your face, I guess would probably be the best way to describe it. So I'm going to go ahead and ink those up as well. And then adhere my photo mats down on top of those mats. Okay, so I inked all the edges of those. I adhered my photo mats onto their matting, and then I did go around on these and put that thin foam tape on the back of each one of the photo mats, just to, you know, kind of make them pop a little bit more and stand out a little bit more on the layout itself. So you'll see me doing that there. So I was just getting them all ready to go so that I could just kind of place them and lay them where ultimately they're going to go, so that they're ready when I actually adhere them down. So again, I'm just putting my mats on top of their matting, you know, mats on mats on mats, because this is what we do as scrapbookers. And then getting the foam tape on the back of those as well. Actually, maybe I didn't do it on those yet. I do it on them eventually, but I don't think I did it until later on. So let's go ahead and decorate. So I decided to keep this easy for the most part, and decided to just use the Simple Storage, the Page Pieces packet, because truly it's made for layouts. If you get those, like there's, you know, an example on the back that's just very, very simple. You know, this one of course is a little bit more, not horribly more involved, but just slightly more involved than, you know, the example that's on the back of the package for these. But it's got a lot of good usable pieces that you can get. You know, you've got your titles, you've got, you know, some other little decorative elements, and they're all kind of, you know, sized just right for layouts, and you don't really have to think really hard about that, which is always, in my opinion, a good thing when, you know, designing or, you know, decorating something. The easier you can make it on yourself, the better. So that's what I'm just kind of, you know, placing things and kind of testing them. And honestly, I keep like looking back up at my screen as I'm doing this, just to see what they look like and see if I like how I'm putting these down. And I do end up moving them around a little bit, but for the most part, I did kind of go with this, you know, basic idea here. So I'm just kind of looking and deciding. Okay, so I'm happy with where I have things. Okay, so now I'm just to the point of adhering down my different little page elements, and I got that one over a little bit further than I wanted it. So I've already got my foam tape on the back of my picture mats there, so I'm just pulling the backing off of that and getting those placed down. I'm going to take a strip of that foam tape because that little winter is kind of tiny. So I'm just going to kind of trim pieces off of that little strip that I pulled, and put them down on there so that I can pop that up. I realized after I got all of these down and I started, you know, I was taking pictures, that I really could have taken my page pieces and inked on those as well, and I didn't do it. But really it's okay either way. So that one's going to go there. The little 4x6 is going to go down at the top. And then we'll go ahead and do our other set. So on the Wonderland piece, I did double up the foam tape just to raise it up a tiny bit more. Initially, I had thought I would use the foam stickers that Simple Stories does that I absolutely adore, and I decided not to do those and to just, you know, use the page pieces because it's pretty much thought out for you. You just have to decide where you want them, but you're not having to pick through, you know, all your ephemera and everything, trying to decide, you know, how do I really want to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and get the photo mat down there and kind of figure out how I'm placing my little bird and the little heart. I ended up adding another layer of the tape to the little bird just because, so he would kind of sit the way I wanted him to sit. Of course, he's not adhered down on the top of that photo mat where his little tail kind of goes over the back there. So I'm kind of getting those layered on there the way I want them. And then I'll do the same thing with my little cluster up there near the top. But I'm going to do this big one first. And again, I'm just getting my foam tape on the back here and getting that all placed down about where I want it. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my little bingo card here. And again, I'm not adhering the corner that overlaps onto the photo mat. I'm not adhering that one down. And I might actually put pictures on this. I actually kind of know what I would put on this. So my husband has been out of town this week and it snowed a lot. And my son, Nick, who is 10, has been going out without even being asked, it being suggested, anything, and shoveling the snow. Okay, Nick's tiny for his age. Not tiny, I mean he's small for his age. And this kid has gone out and shoveled the driveway like 3 days in a row. He's just an awesome kid, and I've got some pictures of him doing it that really I should put on this layout, shouldn't I? If that actually happens, since, you know, we all know how I am with that, I will post it, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I get around to doing that. Okay, so I'm putting that little snowflake next to the photo mat. And then I'm going to get my little bird layered up on there. And I did kind of put him across the bottom corner of the photo mat. And really it's okay because it's something I could very easily kind of trim off the bottom corner of a picture and it wouldn't make any difference. It'd be okay. And then I'm doing 2 layers on my little heart. And that is going to go down there. And that's it. There is our 2-page layout with the Simple Storage Simple Vintage Winter Woods. I hope you guys enjoy this. As always, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell if you want to be notified when I post new videos. I do have a membership option as well if you would like some bonus content and things. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye!